Allahumma innaka afuwun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anna. Allahumma innaka afuwun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anna. Allahumma innaka afuwun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anna. You know exactly why I started like this today, mashallah. I guess you know. Because Allah is of forgiven, and today is day 25 of the month of Ramadan, one of the odd nights in the month of Ramadan, especially the last 10 days of Ramadan, where the Prophet says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that night of majesty will surely fall in one of the last 10 odd nights of Ramadan. So why not get up? If you are sleeping, you better wake up. If you are dozing, you better jump up, because this might be the night of majesty. May Allah give us the understanding and the wisdom to do the needful in this night. And that's why you continue to pray to Allah. Allahumma innaka afuwun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anni. You're welcome to Barakar Sahur. My name is Jabal. Follow me. You know what we do on this segment? Tea at Sahur. Aja Balkis, Aja Mariam, and Aja Mariam Square, like I call both of them, mashallah. They are still discussing everything before marriage. Everything before marriage. Part 2 of this, they started yesterday, and today they're going to conclude it, because they said you have said so many things. They said you have said so many things, yes, before marriage. So while you're in marriage, what do you do? Watch what the sisters have to say on the show today. Bismillah. Tiyatsa'o.
When you're so much in love with them, because you're two forgivers, you overlook a lot of things. So I like to laze around and lounge. My husband likes it. Everything in its place.
You don't like snoring and he snores, it becomes music to you.
Yes. If you
That's
love the
it.
person.
Because
If
you
you don't
complement each other.
Yeah.
And look, I hate snore, and I hate hearing people snore beside me or around me.
And there are some
when he
people that-
sleeps, I know he doesn't snore. But when he sleeps in the back position or he's very tired, he snores. And then what do?
You help him,
Change your
adjust.
And sometimes they can, those people that snore, they can deny that. I'll video it for you.
No.
No, I'll video it for you. When you wake up, you now see it and then we'll laugh about it. They're not serious and say,
Actually,
so that you not deny
Also,
it.
see, some
I'll
of those
video
things
it for
actually have to do with us having that
Una.
mindset that, especially when you love somebody, you would be willing to overlook, you would
True.
be willing to accept, you would be willing to tolerate
A lot of things.
a lot of these things. But it is important to still mention it regardless. Do not let the butterflies in your belly, blind your sight. Enough to the extent. Love is
Do
not
not let
blind.
your
though.
heart control your head.
Yes, it is not blind. Though. You have to see all of these things. You have to be you have to take cognizance of them all, because ultimately they are all defining, factors in what will shape or what will crumble the relationship tomorrow.
True.
So, like now, if you know
and
that,
those things you shouldn't ignore.
yes, I've had instances of maybe creed. People of different creed. You have to talk about, you don't like, your aversion to someone using the subha, or your aversion to someone listening to music, or
What's
your
a
aversion
subha?
to someone the tesubah,
Oh,
or your aversion
That's
to someone using using makeup, or using deodorant, or if he shaves at all, or if she shaves. These are the things you have to actually
Shave what?
talk about. Shave now. You don't know
I
that
know,
some
but-
people don't shave.
and that's part of their religious belief?
No.
Okay.
No, I already
Personality.
talked about
Oh.
creed.
We're
I
talking
talked
about
about these
personality.
things. I'm talking
Oh.
about personality now.
People who do not
Whether
like
they
to
brush
shave.
2 times in a day, whether they bathe at all, or whether they bathe once in a week. Mama, these are the things you
Oh,
have to
serious?
talk about, because these are things they are all easy to overlook. They're all easy to overlook, and because you have, in Islam, there is, it's usually encouraged to court for a short while, just to avoid, fitna and anything to coming in. So you have this short while, and then you have to talk about everything. Otherwise, people will say, when they did not take the entire, as in the 7 years or 8 years to know one another, because even spending long doesn't
guarantee that you won't have issues.
Exactly. So that is why you have to do your own due diligence And the best way to
Because
do
no matter
it is
how
to
long
talk
it
about
takes.
If he's gonna
everything.
hide himself, he's gonna hide himself.
Once you get into that home together
Or
and begin to
herself.
sleep on that bed, there's definitely going to be something that you
Find
never knew
about him.
revealing
As soon as
itself.
it's
It could be
placed
smelly
in your
boxes.
in your mind, you just call or drop a message. I even wanted to know that. I'm talking now for those that are on the, like those that are just maybe they're searching or they're on the way or they have fiancé.
Exactly.
You guys that are married now, you have no choice.
Do not
you already
ignore
know
red
everything. You already
flags.
know, but I am saying
not
now,
ignore red
my dear
flags.
sister or brother, as soon as it clicks in your mind that let me even ask. Carry your phone if you cannot call to ask. Talk about it. It occurred to me now. Do you like your coffee hot or cold?
Cold
It's
coffee.
important.
It's important. Do you
Let me
think?
not go and
do
bring
you
you
prefer?
the one that will burn your mouth.
Yes.
and
Do you
then I
prefer
get
a
slapped.
feast?
I
A
would
feast
revenge.
like meal. What's that? So really, trust me, it is actually very, very important because.
And then you say
all
you
of
didn't
these
know
things
that
are
I'm going
things
to the
that
event.
they are easy to pick on by the time you start having small differences in their house. That's when you remember that
Yesterday
you
you
did not
gave
even
me,
you did not cover the WC
or
you did not brush your
you
teeth
didn't put on the
last
seat,
night.
or you finished eating and you left the pieces of bones on the side plate and took only the main plate to the kitchen and left the
when
other on the table, on the dining table for me.
And again, it should also help you to prepare your mind. If there are things that you would accept, you would already prepare your mind. Okay, you snore, I'm okay with that, there's no problem.
Oh, I
So
can find a
you'll
way
not
around
find
it.
him sleeping tomorrow and then say, why are you snoring? Are you okay? Don't you know that I'm snoring before?
You
Or
talk,
why are you
you
picking
talk
your
about,
nose? No. Or why are
you
you
talk about
farting?
the oddest things.
Talk about it. Thank you.
oddest
The oddest thing.
Like,
and the most
like for
pleasant
example,
things.
me like this.
And you know what?
I don't like it. I don't like it when I serve you food and I then have to get up and get you water to wash your hand.
You have to go and wash your hand.
Yes, please.
I might include the bottled water bowl. I mean, what's the meaning of water
Yeah,
bowl?
See that water
But I understand,
bowl.
but you have to let him know.
Yes. So we understand each other that before you get to where you're going to sit down to
Stop
eat.
by and wash your
Yes.
hands.
And when you are through
Wash your
eating,
hand
stand
before
up, go and wash it and use
Exactly.
soap to wash
Wow.
it. Well,
And
all
we
of these
understand
things,
each
with
other
simple
about
communication, like you guys are all set. My
But-
dear sister and brother, talk about
Exactly.
everything and
Everything
anything.
and
The
anything.
othest things, the most pleasant things, what
and
trick.
and I've said this like over and over again. Don't ignore red flags.
Don't from the little
Don't ignore.
things, from what you're talking about, you will be able to know, and then you would admit it either as a yellow flag or as the red one. If it is something you can still go with, no problem. You just have to prepare your mind. You put yourself together that okay,
Be
something
sure
I
it's
can,
something you
because
can
the good
stand.
ones, the good things, the good qualities, actually overshadow
Sure.
the
Exactly.
the vices. So, and also the reason why some of these things are important is so that tomorrow it would not come with a new attitude, and then you would not be able to say.
And
But-
there's one big, most important thing that you have to talk about that we have not spoken about. You have to know if he's the type that wants to have 4 wives, 3 wives, 2 wives. You have to know, seriously.
But don't
it's a
you
very
know that
serious
some men
thing.
don't even know that? They only know they are open to this choice, but they don't know
Yeah.
for sure yet. There
Let's
should be something
talk
you should
about.
talk about.
Talk about it.
Yes.
It's something you should
There's
be
a
able to talk
possibility,
about so
but
that-
I am not thinking about it right now.
Yes.
Talk
So
about
that you
whether you
prepare your mind.
Yes. And it's also important to
Because that
talk about
needs
maybe
preparation,
how yes. Another important thing that we are not talking about right now is talk about how often you want to copulate, how often you want intimacy,
Did you
whether
see
you
how
like
I-
to, whether whether you like intimacy,
You-
whether
you-
you just like cuddling,
Are we supposed to
whether
be-
you don't like,
Are we supposed to discuss? I mean, have a deal on that as well? Like
You
how
have
often
to. So you guys will not enter finish. You not be saying that no. What do you mean by no? Don't you
Even
know
if
that
you
this?
don't,
You have to talk about it in the most modest of all manner. Of course,
No.
now you actually have to. These are things that are causing great
what
rift
what
between
what I
husband and
believe
wife.
what
and
I believe
differences.
about this now is you have to learn to understand
My mouth is still
when
open.
yes you have to learn to understand when I don't want.
But you have to let him know. You have to let him know whether you're a gum body, or maybe a cat
And
that likes
being
to cuddle,
somebody's-
or you're just a teddy bear, or you're just
But that thing should come. It should be
or you're a
spontaneous.
catfish.
It doesn't have to have a schedule.
Yeah.
That is why
what
you
I
have to
know.
talk about it. Some people like it scheduled. They like it like, okay, what time?
The heck do you schedule that?
But it's the truth, actually. So these are the things you have to really consciously talk about.
Wait a minute. Are you aware that if it's scheduled, then you know maybe you're stepping out in the morning, you're like, okay, tonight is the night. And then you're coming back.
I don't want.
But do you know that that helps for some people? Because they would be able to like get in the mindset.
What
They
kind
put
of
it-
crazy mindset is that? I want
my
it to come
people are
naturally.
different now.
Yeah, see, I want.
People
Hey,
are
mind-
different too. People
I
are
want
different.
mindset.
That's why you
Can
have
you
to talk
pass me
about
that
it.
tea bag? And the sugar, please. Thank you. Let me pass it. I want tea.
But really,
We are finished talking.
to be candid, you have to be able to talk about this like really with them right from before marriage. You have to be able to talk about whether you like it spontaneous or you like it, Yes. Why is it Mama,
No,
we're talking about everything and anything and all things and the
I
present
agree with
thing.
you. It's just shocking, kind of, to me.
Why it's shocking?
Because I have never heard that people have to schedule.
No, people.
really?
There are people that
do.
do it, but I don't
With
think it
just
should.
one wife, you schedule with one wife.
Yes,
Wow.
people do. People do.
Wow.
Yes, they do.
Some women are not always.
Sometimes
up
it's
for
not
it.
the
Some men
yes,
are not
it's not
always
the
up for it, so they have
sometimes
to
it's not
know.
the cause, it's not
they
the
have
husband.
to
The husband
know-
is not the
they
cause.
have
Sometimes
to
it's the
know-
wife, sometimes
yes.
the husband. So you have to
You have
talk
to find
about
each other's
this thing.
rhythm. You have to
Yes.
get each
Talk
other's-
about whether you want your in-laws to stay with you. Talk about how many children you want. Talk about all of these things. So
how the
at
kids
end
will
of-
be raised.
Yes.
If they will attend madrasa or if the mother has to be a teacher at home to homeschool, then the Western way and then the Islamic way as well.
Talk about the new habits you intend to form together. Like you said now, like you talk about maybe what you intend to do together. You understand? Talk about the things you would like to pursue together. Talk about the things you would like to
The
help
hobbies
one
you
another to live. The maybe vices or things that are not unpleasant things you would like to help one another to live. And it's
Like
also
you people
important to
have
be
to know.
sincere.
You people have
why
to
doing
know
this
each
thing?
other that deep to know
Exactly.
your-
Way to
your-
complement
yes,
each other and support
yes.
each
And
other, back each
sincerity
other
is
up.
key in this thing.
Mm,
Sincerity, openness.
Because I know I have to
transparency.
know. I have
It is
to know.
key.
I have to
high five
know
for
which.
that.
I got my
I have
iPad.
to know which of your bad habits I can tolerate.
Yes.
The ones that you have to stop, and the
Yes.
ones that I can say, okay, you have to just improve a little bit on this one and do.
Talk
Because
about helping one another,
Yes.
helping one another to to succeed. to
I've had
progress in life.
instances
And where you
where
don't even-
I've had instances where women go into a marriage with someone that is a complete drug addict.
Whoa,
And before
did not know.
No, she knows, but she's getting married to him to be able to change him.
Wow.
Some actually succeed, and
Did it work
some,
with her?
Yes,
She was able to change him.
yes.
Wow.
There are
for
women
some.
that actually succeed, and there are those ones that don't succeed at all. And you see that before the marriage, so the relationship doesn't go anywhere, or after the marriage doesn't go anywhere, simply because the husband is not able to stop this. And there are men that go into a marriage with girls that have this kind of attitude, and they smoke, they drink. Okay, maybe when she gets married, she'll be able to change, and then okay, I will, regardless of whatever anybody comes to tell him, he's going.
Goes
Yes,
ahead with it.
yes, I am going to marry her because I want her to change. And then, fortunately for some people, she's able to change. Unfortunately, the marriage just goes.
Ultimately, in our bid to talk about anything and everything, we should be sincere. First with ourselves. You know what you want deep down inside of you. You know what you can tolerate. You know your threshold. You know all of this. Don't say because you're getting some benefits. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
or maybe the love or whatever that is.
Even though it's
I'd
very
overshadow.
easy, it's very easy for you to get carried away with the benefits of that
You should be
relationship at that
sincere.
time to you. You have to
Be
learn.
sincere with yourself, then be sincere with the other person. And without sincerity mindset and openness, sometimes some people, all of these things are actually not easy for some people to talk about. Sometimes you have to push for it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to demand for it. And it doesn't have to be something like, oh, we need to sit there and sit down and start talking about everything. No. Some are things that you would
Spontaneous,
come to,
just
yes,
come.
it should be
It just
spontaneous.
come.
Some are things that it should just occur to you. Oh, I don't know if he likes putting off his slippers and leaving it at the door. If he likes to, leave his coat, hang his coat somewhere. If he
If
likes
he
me
likes
to
to
do
use
the
the back of
laundry.
the door rather than the clothes rack.
Exactly. So you talk about ask. I've told you the reason why I'm big on it, though, because it's a very big part of ensuring that the marriage is healthy and it has a solid foundation.
Of course, a lot of these
and
things are
trust.
guided by experiences, personal
Yes.
experiences, So I completely understand why you're saying this time around, I'm doing it a second time this time around, it's gonna have to be agreed upon. I mean, there are gonna be deals to be struck, there are gonna be agreements to be made and all of that.
And
Completely
like I
understand.
said, if you have to write it down,
Write it down.
Because some people can turn around tomorrow and
And
say,
when we're
I
talking-
never agreed to this.
And when we're talking about everything before marriage, are we also talking about the spec of the man? Is that something that
The spec of
Yes,
the man.
so it's not the one
should
that
we
you
be talking
enter
about-
finish, you now be looking, it's not just the man.
the woman?
Do you know men do something? Especially these are Muslim brothers. I'm actually livid right now because I just recalled an incident.
What happened?
So the brother apparently had seen the sister and liked the sister. Of course, there is only so much you can see.
Yeah.
And then upon getting married,
She
no,
niqab
she's
and
not in
hijabi.
niqab.
Hijabi. Okay.
Yes. Upon getting married, and then the man said, divorced her, after a couple of months, saying that she
Yeah,
has small boobs. So was he blind before? These are things. Yes, you cannot. Okay, there are times when men they intentionally go after a sister that they see as slim or slender. Or they'll now say, oh, this. They need you to fatten up like, you should, And they intentionally go after the ones that are plump and pretty. And then they say, oh, you should start watching your weight. Are you okay? No, don't you get?
My mouth is still open.
It is the same for women.
You don't know.
Some of our women,
but
they see these brothers in their
Like
beard,
if you want
beardless.
if you want
They say that they don't
fat,
have beard though.
if you want fat, go for the fat
Yes.
ones. Fat and chubby ones. If you
Yes.
want slim, go for the slim ones.
Some.
With the realization that they may get fat.
I think
one
that at
day.
the
or
back
may
of our
never
mind.
get fat.
Yes.
It is very important.
Oh.
So some now, the sister, they'll see the brother, he doesn't have baby. They'll now say that, mashallah, because of all that things, of course. And that thing, you know how important it is to you, or how much importance you attach to it. Some of these things are actually purely unrealistic. But some of us don't even care. What we want is what we want. And you know how big that is with
So
you.
the best thing is making realistic lists.
Thank
Having
you.
realistic lists, being realistic
Sincere?
in your deals, in the deals you're about to strike, being sincere in
Yes.
your requests and your
Demands or agreements or
demands
deals,
and
yeah.
your
Expectations.
expectations and benchmarks.
Yes.
That's what I was looking for.
Yes.
Being realistic in setting those standards and benchmarks. If you're not, chances are you will get disappointed
Definitely.
because the man will want
Definitely.
to package himself to suit what you want.
Yes.
From Disney.
And then when he gets in, he becomes
That's
himself, and then
true.
you're disappointed, and then you want to. You probably may be too disappointed to try to put it back together again. Becomes
And
unproductive,
sometimes, yes.
yeah? On this note, people, you've heard it. Maybe not all of it, but at least enough for you to be able to then make your own arrive at your own conclusions. Should you strike deals before you get married? Should you arrive at should you make should you have agreements with him? Should you
Talk about everything.
talk
and
about
anything.
everything
Or some things
anything.
and leave the other ones to
everything
chance.
before marriage? That's today's topic. Tell us what you think. Send us your questions, your comments, and subscribe to New Central TV on YouTube. Watch us on StarTimes channel 274 as well. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.